Hey there, and welcome back to this week's edition of Ask Ron, where Ron answers our Gold Club members' questions. I've got Ron here with me today. How are you doing today, Ron?
I don't know where I could go in this country to get better weather than we have here in Jacksonville, Florida today. It is beautiful out there.
Yeah, especially this time of year. It starts to cool down and feels amazing. Now, I do want to touch base and let everyone know that this is a benefit for our Gold Club members. So if you are not a Gold Club member, how can they get joined, Ron?
Go to ronsgoldclub.com and you'll see 3 levels there. And if you're really interested in doing real estate, you might want to start with the middle level because that comes with our brand new Dreams Pro system and your website and the tools you need to do your business with, plus the Gold Club itself. Go explore it. Very inexpensive and a massive amount of information and tools to work with. In fact, we're going to be doing some online trainings on our Dreams Pro here coming up. Man, this thing is incredible. It's literally will generate leads for you. They call you. It'll do all the work for you. It'll do the mailing for you, mail postcards. It's got everything in it. Comps in it and follow-up systems in it and all of that. And you get that at the $297 a month level, which is incredibly inexpensive.
That's right.
All right, let's go. We got some good questions.
We'll jump into this. First one comes from Tony and Angie up in Ohio.
I just left them.
They did. I think they actually asked this question last week, but I don't know if we were able to get to the Ask Ron last week.
They won that 2-day trip down here with me, implementation, where we actually put everything on their machines. They took home ready to go. We had created a mailing list for them and everything while they were in the room. I just got the word that we're going to be doing another one of those in December. Let me give you the dates right now before I forget it. December, just mark these dates down, folks, in case you want to come. They're going to be December 12th and 13th. I don't know the numbers yet. We're trying to price it as low as we can, but 12th and 13th here in Jacksonville, I'm telling you, it's going to change your business. In fact, let's get Tony on here. Let's see how he felt about it. He was there. Angie was there.
That must be some pretty fresh news. I haven't heard that yet. All right. So their question is, now that we have the Dreams AI platform and are able to easily skip trace prospective sellers, it'd be awesome to hear how the Godfather would approach cold calling. I know that there are people like Nick that have services for it, but cold calling can help develop your phone skills to strangers. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it can also make you nuts. I personally don't want to sit around calling people that I just know that has a home, don't know if they even have for sale. I can make better use of my time than that. And I would definitely delegate. And that's exactly what Adel and I are doing right now. Nick's program means he's pulling the list and he's cold calling them and he's texting them and he's skip tracing them for you. That's all okay. With this new dream system we got, we pull our own list. I know why they're on that target list. So we're creating a list of 12,000 people with houses for sale, and they all got some kind of motivation. Some of them are, I don't know, some of them might be in pre-foreclosure. Some of them might be estate sales, the houses vacant with out-of-town owners, all kinds of things like that. We're going to pull our own list. And then we're going to get Nick to call the entire 12,000 lists after he skip traces them, which will probably get him down to about 10,000 names. And he calls them, he texts them, and he calls them, texts them, and skip traces them to get their phone number, and then starts calling them. He has a team that does that. So we're going to combine part of what he does for folks with lists that we pull, and I think we're going to increase our results tremendously. Just starting that right now, actually.
Awesome. Well, next question comes from Robert Straker. He's actually got a couple for us this week. He says, hey, Ron, how long will you have the link to your wholesaling course up on your home page? The Don't Miss Out on Ron's special offer on his wholesaling course sparked the interest of a friend of mine who's now interested in joining Planet Ron, but won't have the necessary funds until November 1st.
Okay, well, that's almost here, but I can't answer that question because I'm not anyway involved with what goes up on that website. You should be able to answer that more than me. I don't know. That's a question for Nick, to be honest.
Yeah, I as far as my understanding from the meetings that I've sat in, it doesn't sound like there's a specific date that it's going to come down. I imagine whenever we announce the Dreams event that Adel's going to be hosting and that we've been talking about for a little while, it may come down then.
Oh,
But
got that coming up too. Let me tell them about that. I totally forgot about that. You did write these down, man. Good job. Make sure they know what we're doing all the time. On November the 7th and 8th, we're having a 2-day event, free, virtual, from 11 to 3 each day. And I'm going to be going over the 2 fastest ways to make money in real estate and showing you demonstrations of them and showing you proof of them. Adel will be working on that with me as well. And then I'm going to continue that on the 2nd day. And then Adel's going to demonstrate the new Dreams Pro system, and it's going to blow you away. And I'm going to throw another class in there I haven't decided yet. We're going to talk about ugly houses and pretty houses, compare the two, show you where the money's in, show you what we're doing for those 2 days. Set them aside, 11 to 3. That's Eastern Standard Time now. And you'll be getting, if you haven't already, you'll be getting notification on that if you're getting our emails. You must be getting our emails. You wouldn't be asking these questions now. All right. Then I got a commercial boot camp coming up in November as well, 13, 14, and 15 here in Jacksonville. I teach it. And then I got a live quick start school on November starting on the 19th, 20, 21, and 22. And that's where we're going to have the buses, 2 buses, taking people out to ugly houses that we pick out here in Jacksonville. That's the first and the last time that I'm going to do that. I haven't done that since way pre-COVID days. Thought we'd just throw it in there as kind of a Christmas present to those who want to come or come back. It's also available to repeats. And you know the rule. It's free if you're within your year and $500 if you're past your year to come back. Okay?
Sounds like you're going to be a busy man in November. And,
yeah.
And Robert, just to touch base back on that question, as far as I know, it should be up on November 1st. But if it's not, send me an email and we'll hook your friend out.
Yeah.
All right. Next one is also from him. People here in Oregon all of a sudden are not selling their homes due to sudden changes in mortgage rates. This also includes the for sale by owners you're sending me through my Gold Club subscription. All the for sale by owners have called, changed their minds, and now are waiting to see what happens. What should I do if all these sellers are saying no? So kind of looking for rebuttals or anything to that statement.
All right, Robert, first of all, you are making a case against yourself that doesn't make any sense to me. People are not staying in their home just because the mortgage rates go up. Some people have to move regardless of what happens around them. And you said you're getting our Gold Club leads, which means you're only getting the people who advertise their house on sale online, which is the lowest quality leads there are. Now we're chasing them. And incidentally, you won't be getting those going forward because this new dream system that we've got for you, you go on there. I'm trying to explain this now. You pick some lists of people that you want, some targeted, motivated lists. You pick your area, wherever you want to do it in, and you put in your parameters. I want a minimum of 3 bedroom, minimum 1 bath, minimum 1,200 square feet, whatever you want in your area. A couple other pre-screening tools I can't remember. I don't know. You can pick square footage, minimum, and so forth. And then you tell it to pull that list for you. All right. And then you save the results of that list. And then going forward, you'll automatically get everyone that comes back online or changes their prices or whatever in that list. So you save it, and now they'll be contacting you, which is 10 times better than you chasing them like you do on our Gold Club leads. Now, I don't want to sell those Gold Club leads short, but we won't be able to get them anymore. And every time we do a boot camp, we call the Gold Club leads for the students who bring them because that's all they know how to bring at that point. But there, and even in other events, we're going to teach you how to get sellers to call you 10 times better than you chasing them. Trust me. Your whole business needs to be revolving around people contacting you with a house for sale. And then you won't hear that kind of stuff. You hear it on some of them. But the things you're hearing are normal. It ain't got anything to do with Oregon, by the way. And frankly, it's got very little to do with the interest rates. You're talking to people who don't really need to sell to begin with, so you get poor results. And I understand that, okay? There's two key ingredients. Number one, you got to generate leads. Number two, you got to handle the closing call. All right. Generating leads in itself, you're going to have to pick out from all the stuff you can do, some free and some cost money. But in our new program, all you got to do is pay for the mailing of postcards to an extremely small targeted list that you pulled out of a bigger list and kept narrowing it down by putting in the parameters. It's going to change everything. I truly believe this thing could be the only thing you need to generate leads, quality leads. Big difference. All right, that sermon's over.
Next one up. From him again, he said,
no more questions.
all right, if someone gives you 5 to 10% for a non-refundable option deposit, do they need to come up with another 5 to 20% when they take advantage of the option for their mortgage down payment?
That depends. That depends on number one, whether the house is under the FHA and VA limit. Then they only need 0 down or 3.5% down. And even if it's above that, some banks got loans for 10% down with qualified buyers, and most they need is 20%. And truthfully, many times I get above 10% on their down payment when I move them in the house. Like I got one right now. Actually, I just bought it yesterday. It's a $500,000 house, 5.25 actually had it appraised, and we got it for $440 with nothing down. I did a wraparound mortgage to the seller, and I don't start making payments till January 1. We closed it yesterday, and it needs no work. Okay, that's the kind of example of a house you're looking for, the kind of seller you're looking for. They had to move. They got to move to Las Vegas. They'll be out of it in the next few days, and it was for health reasons, from what I'm told. So anyway, let's say take that house. We're going to put that out there for a lease purchase. I'm not taking less than $50,000 down on that $500,000 house in that beautiful area. I'm just not taking it. And I'm going to get a lot of people who are going to offer me less. I'm not going to take it. The payment's about $2,500 a month. I'd rather make the payment and take less down because, number one, I'm giving away my front end profit because I'm in a hurry worrying about the payment. Number two, I've learned that the more they put down, the less I'm going to ever hear from them. Because when they remember, they take over responsibility for the repairs on the house at the same time. So now the more I take down, the better chance they got to go and get qualified for a loan. But believe it or not, most of them still don't do it. So somebody could just as easily come along and offer me $100,000 down on that quality of a house and that quality of a neighborhood. I mean, you should see it. New houses all around it. So back to what you said, if it takes 20% for them to get qualified at a bank, that's $100,000, over $100,000. Okay, people looking at $500,000 houses aren't broke for the most part. Okay, they know they got to have money to move into the house. And ask yourself this: if all the houses around it are about the same value, where did all those people get the money to put down to get a loan? Well, you got a nice house, nice area, you ain't gonna have any trouble finding somebody who can afford it, whether they're buying it on terms or whether they're going down to the bank qualifying for a loan. Truthfully, I don't want them to go down to the bank qualify for a loan. I want to keep that house for a long time. By the way, I got a 5-year balloon on it. That's all I could get out of her. All right. Where'd you go? There you go.
All right. Next up. If someone doesn't take advantage of the option to buy at the end of their contract, will you renegotiate with them to extend it?
If they don't buy in terms that they've got, I'm not renegotiating anything. I'm just going to keep collecting the rent. Truth is, I'm never going to put anybody out of a house just because they didn't buy it. As long as they're paying that rent, I'm happy. They're paying down my debt, and the house is going up in value, and I'm getting depreciation, and I'm getting appreciation, and I'm getting the debt pay down. I'm getting all those goodies that come along with keeping the house, which is what I'm going to do with this house. The big down payment is nice, but that's not the real payday. In fact, I got one right up the road from me, similar to that, bought it 10 years ago. And that house has made me $650,000 over the last 10 years. And I only paid $351 for it and paid nothing down to the seller when you add all those things you get with the term deals that you don't get with the wholesale and rehab deals. The longer you hold a house, the more money you'll make. Wholesale, rehab are great, big chunks. But then what? Got to go back to work and keep generating more because you don't get any more revenue out of them. And then you got to give the government a great big old chunk of that big chunk you got, right? When I do a terms deal and I put a tenant buyer in it, I'm not paying the government taxes until I cash out, and then it will be a long-term capital gains right now, which is about 15%, assuming I don't do one of the three things that I show you how to do to sell houses for cash and not pay any income taxes on it. So, it's all there. I love the wholesale checks. We still wholesale. I shoot for a minimum of 20 grand per deal. I've got one house on the market right now that we rehabbed, just sold one. Still do those, but I do those very sparsely because most of the time I can get almost as much out of the wholesale deals I can get out of doing all that work and taking all that time and dealing with everything that goes in the middle on a retail house. So, learn the business. I don't just come into the business and do one thing like wholesaling, which a lot of people do. And frankly, every dime you make, you're walking over a dollar when you learn the whole business. I want to make you a transaction engineer, but I'll need your help. I'm in a seminar mode today.
All right. And then the last one I have for you, Ron.
Go ahead.
Out of all of the exit strategies that you teach, which is your favorite?
Selling house on a lease option. In other words, I'm leasing it with an option to buy. I just went over all that. It creates all those revenue streams. And one of the big ones is that monthly cash flow. When you're getting, say, $500 a month out of a house, between the rent you collect and the payment you make, don't take a handful of them and it could put one out of work very quickly. And the good thing about those is you only got to do the job once and they keep paying for years and years and years and years. That's called residual revenue. You're not going to be financially free until you get the residual revenue in your life or get a boatload of money in the bank. One of the two or both. You can do those both with real estate. That it?
That's all I got for you. Anything else that you wanted to say to the people this week?
Nope. I already told you what's going on in our world. The free events coming up and a couple of paid events. In fact, we're not doing the commercial boot camp till the middle of next year. So you better get down here to Florida. That's 3 days. It might change your life. And by the way, I don't tell anybody to go do commercial and abandon residential. No way. Do them both simultaneously. Become a transaction engineer and start getting money from multiple sources. Anyway, I'm giving everybody the dates. A couple of them are free. You'll get emails on them. Sign up for them. And don't miss that one coming up on December 7th. What did I say? November 7th and 8th. That's where you're going to see this green thing. I'm telling you, you're going to want this green thing if you're interested in buying houses. All right. See you all next week. Have a good week.
Perfect.
All right.
Thanks, Ron. Have a good weekend.